There's a new trend developing in BYU athletics of multi-sport stars. And we've had quite a few, but just recently, Jennifer Hampson, who has dominated All-American in 2 sports. Now Jamal Williams, football, running track and field tomorrow. And then there's a guy named Paul Lasike, who is our next in-studio guest. Paul, you know a lot about being a multi-sport athlete at BYU with football and rugby and excelling at both. Welcome to your debut. You've had quite a busy month with a new baby and 2 sports. How are you feeling these days?
A little overwhelmed, but it's pretty good. It's going smooth so far. Smooth transition.
What's been the toughest transition as you have a baby? You try and get some sleep, but yet you had spring football and then trying to get back into rugby.
Yeah, it was actually not too bad. Coach Anai and Coach Atuai, the running back coach and offensive coordinator, right when we had our baby, it was on the 3rd week of the spring ball week, and so they actually came and visited me and gave me that week off. Oh, and so, which was really nice of them. So I had that. The baby was born on Tuesday, and then they gave me that whole week off, and then I got back into it the next week. So it's been not too bad so far. And we had our parents helping out, and just trying to balance everything out. It's been a real test for me, which kind of pushes me, which is good.
Yep. What's the biggest challenge as you transition from one sport to the next? So you go from spring football, and then you get thrown right into the mix with rugby. There was the Wasatch Cup. You didn't play in that game, but you're in the playoffs now. So what is the toughest part of making that transition?
Just the basics, really. I'm learning how to pass a ball again. It was weird holding a rugby ball. So
Really?
Yeah, actually, it actually was.
Like you were born with a rugby ball in your hands, right?
I know. I've been used to trying to get the ball high and tight and stuff like this with a football, and then holding the ball out in 2 hands with a rugby ball has been kind of a challenge. But it came back to me pretty quick. I started practicing with them last week, and then last Saturday against Dartmouth was my first game back. And so it's going good. I had to spend a little while after practice to just get into the swing of things, but it's been good. So it's the sport I love, and so it came back to me, and hopefully it'll go smooth.
What are some other differences in terms of like conditioning or tackling that you have to maneuver, I guess, adapt to again?
Yeah, both of them are pretty different, tackling and conditioning. Rugby's like it's endurance. It's just a different buzz, Both of them are really hard, actually. So I was actually huffing and puffing in this rugby game, but I'm also huffing and puffing in football too. So and then tackling, it's just weird, man. Like not having your head as a weapon, I guess. And so just trying to move your head out of the way and kind of be more mindful as you break down and you tackle rather than just smashing into someone, as you are in football. So
is that why there are less injuries in rugby, because you're not using your head? You're not like diving at a guy, spearing?
Yeah, definitely. There's not it's more break form tackling, I would say. And then football you kind of feel it that night, the next day. Rugby, you feel it right then and there, when you tackle someone. So
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you enjoy contact sports.
I love contact
sports. Is that okay?
So you don't play intramurals?
I don't know.
I've flag football?
Never played that. Never played intramurals.
Hey, listen, Paul, we've got a sweet flag football team going. Jeremy and I do.
I'm just seeing yellow cards and flags flying.
If
you're playing,
at some point,
I'm not supposed to tackle. I'm
if
sorry
you want
that
to
I
get
broke
involved,
that guy's collarbone.
There will be a spot open for Paul Lasike.
Yeah, occasionally I'll play like pickup games of basketball and stuff like that, and it'll get pretty. I'll forget that I'm actually on a basketball court and not on a rugby field. So.
Rugby star, football star Paul Lasike on BYU Sports Nation with Spencer Linton and Jeremy Jordan. Do you feel faster without pads?
I do.
Is it a noticeable, way noticeable difference?
Way noticeable, man. Like, I'm still not really used to the pads. Like, we have our movement prep at the start of practice for football, and you have the pads and you're trying to stretch, lift your arms up, and you got all of these pads sticking out everywhere. So I love not having the pads on and just being able to run free. I feel like 10 pounds lighter, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What was that first experience like putting the pads on? I know Ziggy's story is he didn't know how to put them on. He had no clue. What was your experience like?
Same situation. It was me and Ray Forrester, and we were in the locker room in spring ball, our first spring ball, and we didn't know what to do. We thought you put the pads on first, and then you put the jersey on, and then the helmet. But it's kind of backwards. You put you pad up the jersey, the pads, and then you put it on together. And then, so those little things was interesting, but. Now I'm fluent. I've gotten pretty quick at putting my pads on these days.
By the way, is there anybody that has a tighter jersey than Taysom Hill?
Probably me. My jersey, at least my game jersey, like I'm huffing and puffing by the time I trying to get my jersey on because they're so like fitted. So nah, I'll probably Taysom Hill. He's probably got the tightest jersey, let's be honest.
Last year, you had a couple of big games. Notre Dame was a huge game for you. I believe you had 101 yards rushing, which is the same as Taysom, but like 16 less carries.
Yeah.
And then Texas, you went off as well. What was the best game for you, you think, from last year?
I would probably say Texas. That was my favorite game. I served my mission in Alabama, so my first year was Texas and Alabama in the championship game. So I never thought I'd be ever playing football against such a great school, and to be able to do pretty well in that game, it was an honor and privilege. So that was probably one of my favorite games and standout games from this last season. Were you surprised in that game? Like, oh my goodness, no one's around me. No one's around me. I keep running. I'm in the end zone. What the heck? Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised. I actually, like, when I went in the end zone, I landed on my back.
Yeah, you kind of turned over.
Yeah, and I got an email from my mom, and she was like, Can you score a try, which is rugby, or can you score a touchdown with your back? And I was like, you just have to get over there, and you just have to get past the line. So it was kind of interesting. It was a good experience, you know. And so
it all counts.
Yeah, it all counts. You just have to get over the line. I told my family back home, so they're still trying to catch up on the game. They don't know what's going on.
Have you thought about dotting it down in the end zone before? Because once you cross, you're in.
Yeah, once you cross,
but you might fumble it.
Yeah. I have thought about it, but that opportunity's never come where I've just came free to be able to do that. The only time it came is like I was jumping over a defender, so yeah.
Or you run to the middle to set up the conversion, and then you dot it down like your homage to rugby.
Yeah, I know. I done that in the last games, in the last rugby game, so it's a good feeling to dot the ball down again.
Yeah.
Paul Lasike here with us on BYU Sports Nation. Bronco Mendenhall came in and filmed some commercials with us earlier this week for this show. We have a unique dynamic with him and a good relationship with Coach. But how was your first interaction with Coach Mendenhall when you began the football journey?
He was a really scary guy for me personally. I actually came in the program through the strength and conditioning coaches, and then through the Coach Mendenhall, and he gave me that opportunity. But excuse me. He's to me, he's just such a humble, he sticks to his philosophy, he believes in what he teaches, and I really respect the man that he is as a coach, you know, and as a person. So it was great, and as we go along, now I'm a senior this year, our relationship is growing, and so I have the utmost respect for Coach Mendenhall.
Let's talk about rugby as we chat with Paul Lasike. Navy tomorrow, Varsity Cup semifinals. You guys are the back-to-back champs, won in dramatic fashion last year in a drop goal against Cal in Provo.
Dominated Dartmouth.
You host the semifinal. What are your thoughts going into the big match with Navy tomorrow afternoon?
Oh man, I think it's going to be a really physical game up front. We were able to watch the half of the Navy game last week, and they just have some specimens on their team. They have some big dudes, and so up front it's going to be really physical. I think it's going to be. We have them in the backs, hopefully, and it's going to be a good game. We're going to have to obviously work really hard to win this game. We can't look past anyone at this point. And so from the commitment levels of all the boys, I think everyone's ready to play. And hopefully we can make BYU proud again. So I'm looking forward to it. So
1 p.m. local time tomorrow. You can stream it online as well. Go to BYURugby.com for info.
We've been asking our Twitter followers and our guests today about the Mount Rushmore of BYU sports. So
current athletes.
The 4 current athletes that belong on a mountain to have their heads carved out. And that's players in sports right now, or they will play in 2014. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of BYU sports right now?
Just from athletes out our school?
Current athletes. So like Van Noy doesn't count because he's done. Out in 13.
Okay, I would probably say Jamal Williams, definitely one of them. Okay. 2-track, like you guys said, 2-athlete star. Taylor Sanders, I watched his game last night on TV.
Your Maori brother.
He's the man, by the way.
Oh, he's so tough.
He is amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Who else? Shucks, man.
We put Tyler Haws and Jennifer Hampson also up
Tyler
there.
Haws is a beast as well on the basketball court. I'd probably put him on one, and then probably Josh Whippy. He's a rugby player.
Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Whippy.
Yeah, probably Josh Whippy. He's the man. He's a great athlete, and he's humble too, and so I respect him as a person. Those guys, I'd probably say I'd have on there. So,
Paul, people are watching on BYUtv all over the country, all over the world. Now's your opportunity to grab the mic, give a shout out to whoever you want to give a shout out to.
Oh, sweet! What a privilege, man.
Just did Josh Whippy.
Yeah. Shout out to my family my parents back in Australia, my wife at home, my son at home as well. and just everyone really. Those are the main people I'd say.
I think you got the bases covered.
Yeah, I got the bases covered. So everyone out there.
Before you go, is that 2-point conversion rugby play still in the playbook?
No, it's not. We actually haven't even run diamond the 3-back formation this spring. So because we used to run the 2-point play out of diamond, which is a 3-back, and so we didn't run that.
You didn't.
We ran a little bit of I formation though. So.
Were you the fullback?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was pretty fun to
Would you rather be the blocker, a fullback, or with the ball in your hand?
Both. I love
Yeah,
both.
good answer.
I would block
answer.
with the ball in my hand.
I get just as much satisfaction blocking as I do running, to be completely honest. If it's a good block, that is. So.
Yeah. Do you mind signing our flag before you go?
Absolutely.
Rise up flag.
Sweet.
We have a tradition, and you're now
It's unlike
adding
any other.
your name to the list of greats on the BYU Sports Nation flag.
Good luck tomorrow.
Sweet.
Thanks for the time, Paul.
Thanks
Paul,
a lot,
great
man.
to have you on the show.
Take it easy.
Get it done.